Good morning, guys. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? We're opening up early today because I got to be out of here by 10 o'clock. We're actually going to experiment with an 8 to 10 structure a couple of times next week. I'm gonna change things around after I come back from Dubai in October, after the second week of October, in terms of our structures, because I want to trade afternoon day sessions as well. But I kind of like opening up at 8 o'clock because 8 to 9 is a lot of good price action that we can trade. So hopefully you guys will like that. We'll try and do more of those type of sessions rather than just opening up at 9 into the U.S. Open. We're basically like 9 to 10 hour. We sit around twiddling our thumbs, waiting for the market to open and volatility to kind of die down. So hopefully you guys like this. I know the Europeans, it's a good time for you guys. The only tough part is, of course, the West Coast, but the West Coast always gets screwed. Whether it's 5 in the morning or 6 in the morning, you guys have to get up early to trade anyways. The good part is I love being on the West Coast. When I'm on the West Coast, I love it because like by 10 o'clock, you're done. You know, like I used to trade. There is a Starbucks that's open all night in Westwood. And I used to always go there at 4 in the morning and just day trade the New York Open session from LA, and it was just so much fun. So I guess it all depends on you. It depends on whether you're going to be up in the morning or not. So a lot of stuff I want to kind of discuss with you guys today because a lot of different permutations of what I think is the highest quality trades. Let's wait for everybody to get in because it's obviously a little early. Let the crew rumble in. I want to ask everybody, how has your trading been over the last couple of days? Did you guys have any luck with FOMC? Post FOMC, there was some nice moves that I made money in Asia. How's everything going? Today is coaching day. So for those of you guys that want to coach, 8 figures showing me lots of emojis. Let me put the comments on here so everybody can see the comments. Okay, thank you, 8 figures, love it. What do I want to say? So today's coaching. So if you guys, anybody who's new in the room and wants to join me for coaching, great deal because you get to have me, you get to have Kathy, and you get to have this indicator, which is our bread and butter, how we make our money. We make our money off our dots indicator, which is what I really wanted to know. Hey, Eddie says he funded account last night. Trying to open on the gold dropped. Nice. What'd you do, Eddie? Tell us the account size. Tell us the size of the trade. Tell us the length of the trade. Tell us everything. We want to know how you did it, so that the other people in the room can learn or just sort of appreciate the structure. 8 figures had 2 funded accounts. Wow, man. We're just. I think we're going to start. We're going to start the day every day by saying, how many accounts did you fund today? That's what I want to know, which is great. I'm just working. I'm working this account 50K each. Nice on the 8 figures. This is the last funded account that I'm going to do for a while because we're super funded. All the accounts in wealth charts are funded. 5 accounts in wealth charts. And then we also have, if we go to trade of 8, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this would be the 5th. So then I'll be like at 10 accounts, 10 funded accounts. That's more than enough for us to get, to get serious about everything. And we'll start doing it. I'm trading this one little setup that I'm going to show you. You guys can see I'm long NAS here, trying to target this 48. Where's my structure? Trying to target this 48 over here. Let's see if we can get it. It's a really, really interesting variation on the breakout setup that I'm going to share with you guys. I think you guys are going to like it a lot. But what I was going to say is I'm trading my funded account right now at the tiniest. I'm just really like, what's the word I'm looking for? 3 yards in a cloud of dust. It's just $10 at a time. And I'm doing it specifically, tiny, small amounts, just grinding it out, trying to do $100, $200 a day, because I want my pre-funded experience in this account to be mentally the same as it will be in the funded. one of the things that I think that happens a lot is we all fund the accounts very quickly because we like to use big size, big pops. And then when we get to the funded stage, we blow them all up because obviously big size, big pop is the easiest way to lose the account. Because at the funded stage, first of all, the rules change. And secondly, the risks, pretty much amplify with large size. So I'm really basically doing like a, grandma in Pasadena type of a version of funding this. It's taking forever and it's going to take a long time. And I don't care because it's really just kind of mentally to prepare me for what I want to do with the funded, which is the whole idea with the funded is to keep them for life, not to keep them for a week and blow them out and then have to restart the whole process all over again. And we're going to try to maintain that type of approach. I mean, maybe we'll do a couple of funded that are very aggressive just for shits and giggles, and see if we can punt them. But generally, it's all going to be about size. Like I said, what was it? My number one rule of trading is that size beats strategy every time. And I'm really trying to prove that to myself because I'm doing lots and lots of stupid strategies, but because I'm keeping size small, the account keeps growing. And if I had it the other way around where I kept size big, but I had good strategy, I would still blow the account because just one bad trade in a good strategy or a couple of bad trades in a good strategy at large size will blow you up. So it's just one of those fundamental facts of life that I think, all of us forget about. And I'm just, grinding it out in this cycle. So Eddie, let's see what Eddie did. Eddie did 50,000 on Apex. What's 50,000 on Apex? What did he say? And just wrote it down until gold hit. You just Eddie just sort of Eddie did the ride or die account in kind of an interesting fashion. So our ride or die strategy is to do this during news event where we take positions on both sides of the market, two accounts, one long, one short, and if there's a big news event, it's ride or die. One account dies, the other one rides to profit. Boom, you get funded. It's a very, very easy, simple way to get funded, and just kind of bypass the whole grind over here. However, Eddie just did it sort of in a slow motion way. He just simply held gold until it hit a move. Because gold yesterday, you were trading Asia, right, Eddie? Asia was a very, very clean move here. He caught the move. He just caught that a really, really nice downward move, and that worked really well for him. So he did a good job. Good for him. It's an interesting way of doing it, and obviously using dots and labels absolutely put him on the right side of trend because he was able to to get short at the right moment and get out. Okay, so I came within a square inch of getting this trade done, and it looks like this trade is going to unwind against me. I'm going to explain to you what I'm trying to do with this trade. Tiny size doesn't really matter in terms of the scalping that I've been doing overnight, and I think you find it very interesting. This is a great setup, but as always, not a perfect setup, right? So you have to appreciate that this setup is going to fail. You just want to try to make sure that it fails less than it, in the overall scheme of things, that it wins. And the setup that I want to show you guys now that people are coming into the room and we're sort of doing the hang is the following. We have the 200 period SMA. We have the 8 period SMA. Trend is positive, right? We're trading positive trend structure, and then I'll show you how to do negative trend structure. So positive trend structure, what we're doing is actually anticipating the breakout. Anticipating the breakout by trading the white dot. The white dot is the anticipatory move to potential breakout. And when you look at the chart here, especially, like the first 2 or 3 breakout moves within a longer the first thing you need is to have a decent looking trend. So you never know if something is going to go for 20 minutes or 2 hours. But if it goes for 2 hours, like in other words, if you position yourself in a structure that for the next 2 hours is an uptrend, you are assured, literally assured of P&L positive moves if you take the white breakout trade, because this is the early breakout, boom, winner here, early breakout, boom, winner. You basically ignore slope, you ignore everything. You just simply rely on the fact that it is positive trend, right? This is a winner. The key thing to a lot of this stuff, and this is where I'm still trying to quantify it, is you actually need, I think, instead of a 1 to 3, you need a 1 to 4 risk reward. You need a bigger zone of fail, because what happens very often is you get the first white dot, a retrace, a second white dot, and you would get stopped out. But if you had a wider stop, you'd be able to absorb it, come back out, and trade the trade. Excuse me, guys. Oh, sorry. Oh, my apology. The reason why this is kind of cool is because it's sort of a combination between, doing a retrace trade, which is kind of trying to buy at value, and doing a breakout trade. It's kind of in between the both. And because it's in between the both, it generally works really, really well on the chart. Like, for example, in this particular segment, it really only fails over here. And actually, if you had a 20-point stop with a 5-point target, it didn't fail at all in the overnight session. So this was a winner. This was a winner, right? You're coming in at 26 and you're looking for 30, and it goes to 33. This was a winner, obviously. This was coming in at 29. You're looking for 34. Actually, this was a loser. I take this back. This was a loser, right? So this one blows out at 20. On the other hand, this one coming in at 23 absolutely banks at 29. And this one coming in at 19 absolutely banks. And the way I would trade it actually is I would trade it one trade at a time. So I would trade this as an individual trade. So I take this trade, it banks. I take this trade, it banks. I take this trade with a stop. If it stops out, it stops out. This one I hold until it hits TP. Or, in other words, you manage them all separately as a trade, and that way the overall structure goes in your favor, because you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This was actually a winner because this did not go 20. 7, 8, 9, and this one. Oh, hold on a second. I think I have a trade here, right? Okay. Yeah, here's I have a white cable, 7 or 8. So it was like 7-1 against, right? Which absolutely works in your favor if you trade them all separately. And this doesn't require, you're not doing any sizing structure or anything else. Just on a multiple scalp structure. But the trade that, and this is for those people that want to do lots and lots of I think it must have happened to me also, because I was very close. I was in at structure, and then I just didn't get it. So that happens. What I was going to say is, oh man, sorry guys, I'm starting to sneeze again. What I was going to say is, so that's like great if you just want to scalp out with trend. And the flip side of that, the flip side of that for the short side of the market is to do the purple trade, right? The purple trade on the short side of the market. We don't have a lot of short examples here, but here's some short examples. I mean, this is FOMC, so it's not really great, but all of that works also. Boom, 5, 5, 5. You just hit the purples on the shorts. Until individually managed, right? Individually managed as a trade. So that's kind of like, I think, a really interesting, quick, scalp, small size. I'm just gonna trade it, in an account. Let's say small size with multiple entries. But the trades that are really great for like 1 or 2 trades per couple of hours, just sort of like the hunt and kill trades. I'm going to show them to you, from a momentum side. And those are Christmas tree trades on the reversals. First, I'm going to show you the reversal side. Then I'm going to show you the momentum side. Guys, I'm sorry. Hang on a second. I got to blow my nose. That trade got dumped, by the way. You see that trade got resolved. Hang on, guys. I got to go off camera for just 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Okay, so that trade got nicely filled. This trade blew up against us because it just missed our target. It was just, what can you do? The idea here is to be like 7-1, 8-1 on a continuous basis. In a perfect world, you'd love for it to be like 10 trades, 1 loss. You're probably not going to get that, but a way that I like to trade this also, by the way, is if the trend is early, like right over here, if you hit the first 3, you're pretty much done. You don't need to. As the longer you go, the harder it becomes to kind of maintain the probability edge, right? The longer you go, the likelier there's going to be a point of failure. But the first 3 in like original scalp trade, very, very clean. Really, really, it's kind of like an early trend scalp. But the second really great setup with Christmas tree labels, the one that is just almost always money. And it happens 2 or 3 times during the 24-hour cycle. And when it does happen, you could kind of just do like, 1 larger size trade in the account, is the double label on the reverse side. So what I mean by that is we're in a positive trend and we have 2 consecutive red labels. The second label is money. Getting short here. I was short this. Oh, what happened here? I was short this one right here. Boom. It was literally just like 5 seconds. The trade just came down. And you can practice the exact same thing. If only I could find it here. Here's here's another example. Double reds, opposite over here. You can see the same thing, right? I'm actually interested. I wanted to show you the reversal to the upside, which is where it really, really works well. Oh, here's a good example. So we're negative trend, right? We're negative trend, double green, right? Just great momentum moves. Now, it doesn't happen a lot. Like there's 3 examples in the last 24 hours, but you know that example, when it shows up, that is a super high probability example, right? That's when it makes the best case scenario, and that works, by the way, on gold as well as on Nasdaq and everything else, right? Speaking of gold, by the way, here's a white dot label on gold that we can do if we want to. Why not? Let's take it. Oh my God. I don't know what happened to me today, guys. The 8 o'clock start just killing my my sinuses. But anyways, so here it is. Same idea. White dot candle over here. Give ourselves a chance to see if we can do a quick scalp to the upside because this is positive trend. I was in this trade. That was a nice clean trade. I was in this trade. You can see the white dots, especially in gold. Gold has been a monster positive trade. And the white dots in gold have been super effective in, here I am, I'm almost there. Come on. And we're done. Super effective in just scalping this out, right? Now, again, I'm telling you guys, I'm doing this tiny size because I'm forcing myself to just essentially be, to grind out this account, right? But this was a $100 trade. That was a $100 trade if you were just simply trading single mini contract. And it was still within risk parameters for somebody who wants to trade. So these quick but super effective little anticipatory trades are great. And you're going to ask me, well, how come I'm not taking the green Christmas tree trades? You can take them, but remember, my favorite green Christmas tree trade is just the first of the breakout, the highest probability. Except I will tell you this: here, today it actually failed. And the reason why it failed is because we had such a massive move. Like everything in the market always has an exception to the rule. The exception to the rule is when you have this huge move to the upside, so that the trend wasn't nascent, wasn't just beginning, but the trend was already deep in. You at this point, you're coming in at 428. The signal doesn't show up till an hour and a half afterwards. So that's clearly late. You want that double green signal to be in the first half hour of the trend. So, obviously that failed because it was just sort of the top. But if you were like just flipping this over, let's imagine here's a trend, right? The trend starts at 2350, and well, this is like the second label here comes in an hour, I guess, but this is like Asia session, so we'll give ourselves the break. But and more importantly, it wasn't how long it took it, but look at the separation of the moving averages. They were not separated a lot, so you still have lots and lots of down room to go. So this second label was just money, just total money, right? Same idea here. Let's imagine this was a break. I traded this with you guys in Asia on the CFDs. Assume that this is essentially new trend because it just kind of comes up and begins to separate. So this label over here was super easy. Boom, we took that. That took a whopping, I think, 5 minutes to resolve to the downside. So all these interesting ideas are very valuable. And by the way, if you're trading negative trend, the purple winner here, right? This is the first loser. After three or four examples, then you want to stop, right? And if you went to the fourth or the fifth, your probability of success decreases. So like the first two or three in trend really give you great signals. First one in trend to the upside, boom, winner over here, right? Purple winner, right? After three, it starts to kind of die out. Then it reasserts itself, and you could have. It's easy to say you could have traded this, but you really couldn't have anticipated the second shelf to the downside. So I can't make the argument, I could have won this. Unless I was taking every single trade, I could have done that, right? But yeah, I mean, these patterns are general patterns. They don't always repeat the same way, but if you're aware of them, you have the enormous amount of edge on your side because you are essentially going to be trading at the optimal time most of the time for those entries. So let me know if that's clear to everybody, and if you can understand my stuffy little nose today. The ratio that I'm trading, and it's a great question. XLB, I think I'm still going to stick to 3-to-1, but I think you could actually probably do it 4-to-1. Like you really do need to give. I'm talking about the white, the white dots, purple dots. When it comes to the Christmas tree labels, those ratios are always 3-to-1, and it's the only thing that changes is the volatility. Do we do 10:30? Do we do 5:15? Do we do 15:45? And all of that is contingent on where we are on all the analytics in our board, right? And what it shows. Like right now, I probably should be doing 2.6 in gold because we're at 8 points wide, which I could have done. I easily could have done. I could have done 2 here, 702. It would have easily hit the the 4. That's probably the right structure. There's the right volatility. And in Nasdaq, I should probably be doing 10:30 over here because we're above 30. We're above 30 on the range, right? So there's always like this nuance between the setup itself and the volatility wrapper, which is just as important as the setup itself. So so Yevgeny is long gold off the white, and he's probably knowing Yevgeny. What Yevgeny likes to do is he likes to buy the whites and just hold on until he sees the purple-red combo, until he sees a change in trend. That's a great strategy when you get a good, nice big breakout move, which maybe is happening at the 8 o'clock hour. But as you can see, very often, if you're in a range-bound market, it's just constant frustration. Boom, 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 boom. So we're scalping. We're always making money on this move. But if you're long-term trending, if you're trending for like a big move, you basically frustrated here. You're having 5, 6, 7 false entries before you can catch a really good big entry to the upside. And that's just the nature of the long trend. The long trend is always going to give you many more failures before you get the ignition. So depending on how you want to trade it, you can use this thing any way you like. Oh man. I promise you, I'm not sick. I just sound stuffy as hell. Just texting my daughter to make sure she's getting to school okay. So generally, what you see is that we're almost always trying to trade with trend. No, I don't. And the reason I don't do the pivot points or anything else is because it utterly is immaterial to our stuff. We're trading short-term momentum moves, and they really don't care. I mean, pivots are there to be either broken or rejected, right? Like every single indicator, it's either going to work or not work. We're looking for the combination of factors where it works a lot more than it doesn't, where it works 87% of the time, 89% of the time, at least 80% of the time. We're looking for those, 4 out of 5 factors. Yeah, we got news in 2 minutes, so I guess we'll hold off on any further. We don't have any setups anyways, but I thought you guys would enjoy at least the structure of this. Who likes the white dot entries? Well, it's just it's a variation on a theme, and I think it's a good one that I think everybody should consider. The thing about the white dot entries is that you manage each trade separately, right? God, sorry guys. And generally, if you really want to trade it with the highest chance of success, you try to only do 3 in trend structure, right? And then after that, you have to let it go. So the only frustrating part is that you could sit around and not take a lot of these trades if you didn't want to. This, a couple different variations. If you do lots and lots of trades, you're basically betting on the fact that you're going to do 20 trades, and some of them. What's the news on the? Let's see what the news is. Oh. $231, a little bit better on the unemployment. By the way, I heard the reason unemployment was so bad was because there was a huge amount of fraud in Texas. It was like kind of false unemployment data showing up. So they traced it. What's Philly Fed doing? Why is Philly Fed not printing? Let's see if this maybe it prints in TradingView. Philly Fed, good. Philly Fed is 23. It's positive. Go Philly. Okay, that was good. Not much to do here. So just to show you, let me see if I did. I think I did. Let me see if I can show you on gold. I did a lot of white dot entries on gold here. Here, here. It's hard to see it because there's so many of them, but you see me. Sorry, I gotta sneeze again. Oh my God. I don't know why I'm totally in sneeze mode today. Whoa, wow. Anyways, it's much more important to show what I do than what I say what I do. You see, so you see me just hitting all the white dots, and in gold, it worked like a charm today. Thank you. So as I said, the reason why I like the white dot structure is because it's early. And because it's early, it gives us a lower risk entry into the position. Because by the time we get to the green Christmas tree, it's already kind of fully matured into a breakout. And of course, the best signal for that breakout is only early in the trend. Because as the older it goes in the trend, the more likely it's an exhaustion point than a breakout point, right? I mean, every signal in the market is either true or false, right? It's very binary. Everything can be either a great signal or a fake out. And the key thing for us is to filter out as many fake outs as possible so that we're just left with the great signals, right? No, I wait. I'm always waiting. I'm waiting for it's gotta, because if you see the white dot, it will disappear, and then it's not a white dot signal. You got to wait. You're always waiting on the close. You're waiting on the close, right? Always, because this is just showing you the possibility. It's only when the candle closes that it's a reality. It's like quantum physics, everything is probability until you measure it, and then it becomes reality, right? It only showcases itself as a probability function that collapses into reality at the moment of conclusion. No, that's what I'm saying to you, Evgeny. If you filter them by slope, you're going to miss a lot of really great entries, right? This is a negative entry slope. That's a winner. This is a negative entry slope. What you're doing is you're relying on the concept that this is positive trend. This is positive trend, right? In this particular case, using slope because it's an early anticipatory thing. It's not a confirmatory thing. And because it's anticipatory, you may be still in that transition from red to green. And so you want to be early. Now, yes, occasionally you're going to get faked out. But if you're just waiting for the green slope, you're going to miss lots of opportunities into the trade. And you just give up too many good opportunities. You see how many of these white dots are coming off a red slope, but then eventually transition into a positive trade. You're just making that assumption. You have to make a leap of faith somewhere. Every strategy is a leap of faith, right? Every strategy, every decision in life is a leap of faith. So you just have to decide at what point that leap of faith is worth your effort. Oh my God. I'm getting very zen with you guys. Okay. Wonderful. So right now, possibly a white dot label over here. In this particular case, we'll see if that materializes for us, because we're still sort of trading this the idea of positive trend. Nothing in gold so far right now. What's interesting for me is gold is, let's say gold is acting a little heavy at the 37, right? You got to admit we're sort of 37 heavy. What I'm kind of fascinated is, what if we get two Christmas tree reds? Then you definitely want to be short gold. You want to be on, you want to take that second confirmatory Christmas tree and short it, because that's going to be a very high probability trade. Oh, God. Okay. So 8:35, man, it's only been 35 minutes. We did a lot of trades. You see, like you can do so many more trades in that 8 to 9 hour than 9 to 10. I think we did like 1, 2, 3. Let me see how many trades did we do here? If I go to settings, execution, yeah, it was like this. I did a lot of trades here. So boom, 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 all these trades. How come I didn't take this trade? Was I not trade? I could have sworn I took this trade. Huh. Okay. But you can see a lot of opportunities, right? No, I just said 8 figures. I just keep repeating it. White dot is an anticipatory trade. So let's go. Let's go. We're going to go long. We'll see. We'll see if this one works. Maybe not. It's probably not going to work. It's a sort of a really really weak white dot. It didn't really close on the end of it. So I took it just to show you the. Oh, sorry. Hold on a second. Shit, I have the wrong stops and target. I have the wrong stops and targets on this. Where am I in? I'm in at 35. Where am I in? Oh, fuck. I took the wrong trade. 35 to, let's do this, 15, like this. That's got to be 40. 41. All right. I'm giving myself a little bit of leeway here on this trade. It was actually a terrible trade to come in on, but I want to show you the mechanics of it. So, we'll just, if it doesn't work, we'll work on it later. But the idea is you don't care about the slope. You're assuming that this positive trend is going to rescue you. Now, it's not going to rescue you because this is like the third or the fourth or the fifth move, right? So when you're looking at the chart and you're looking at the way how the field is laying up, the first question you want to ask is how many of these things have already succeeded, right? And if like the last 3 or 4 already succeeded, your chance of success goes down, not up, right? If this is like the first or the second in a trend, then your chance of success is very much higher. But we're getting another white trade here. I'm just going to take every single white dot to kind of show you the mechanics, and then we can work on clarifying them to what works. Now, the other thing I was going to say is that, as I said, gold is really has been a much stronger, much better kind of up trade than even NASDAQ. Every dip has been a winner because essentially what we're doing is a dip buy and then a breakout of that dip, right? You can see the gold performing just so much better on every single trade, right? We're at 7039 over here on gold. I'm actually taking gold and NASDAQ, both in trade of 8 just to kind of show you this mechanics. But we can move over to wealth charts and trade that for a little while because you can see the setups in wealth charts as well. I want to see where my entry is on this. I'm at 35 and I want to be, that's. All right, we'll put this to 40. Again, rule of thumb is the more you trade, the smaller you trade. The less you trade, the larger you trade, right? It's just sort of like if we're going to do a one and done sniper trade, which we absolutely will do. I don't get a chance to do this with you today because I don't trade till after 10 o'clock. But the after 10 o'clock trade is the perfect one and done scalper trade, which I'm going to, obviously trade with you guys over the next few weeks. But if you're doing more, these multiple, let me just scalp the white dots anticipatory trades, you got to trade them small because you're going to do lots and lots of trades. And if you trade big, you're just going to get in trouble. But if you trade small, you can always work your way out of trouble. Gold looks like after giving us like 3 or 4 winners, it looks like it kind of wants to die, but that's fine. $8:45. We got 45 minutes to the open. Very choppy price action, as is expected. It's 8 o'clock. Markets are just consolidating. NASDAQ is really, really having a tug of war here. But we're going to stay in the trade. We're going to see how it plays out. It's been like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 minutes. A long time for the trade to materialize. But that's the story. It's been 2, 4, 6, 8 minutes in gold. My target in gold is 7039, sitting over here. We're basically in at 703, looking for 704 as the target. Wow, wow, wow. Just grinding it out. Okay, so now it gets interesting. So now you have a double red Christmas tree signal, right? And we got a minute 41 on the on the label. And if that's going to be the case, we're going to flip around. Well, it just goes away. So, but the point is, if it does give us that signal, we're going to flip ourselves around. But it just keeps, they keep holding it underneath here. We'll see. Waiting is the hardest part, right? Waiting is the hardest part. And, we're also getting, there's a lot of chop signals, both ways. So fair enough as far as structure goes. 45 seconds. If this stays as a Christmas tree signal, I'm going to blow out of this trade in reverse. All right, we're going to sell this the other way. Let's see if it's let's see if the reverse signal gives it to me, because now we have a double Christmas tree. It's kind of like lost its upside momentum. Let's see if I'm correct in that there's a little bit of a turn in trend here to the downside. Meantime, Nasdaq is just not participating, right? It just died out. We couldn't get any momentum. We came in 3, 4, 5 minutes into the move, and it just did not materialize. But we're going to stay in the trade, because again, if Nasdaq gives us a double Christmas tree, then we're going to go short. But until then, we got to stay with the trade. And you can see in the gold trade, obviously, totally reversed to the other side, right? We took the gold trade to the other side. And I think we have to get out of the Nasdaq trade. It's just not worth it. It's clearly not working. The white dot not working. So just, a good example, as I told you, I'm going to show you the mechanics of this. This was a trade that just, died on the vine. Nico was right that this was going to, looking at the chart, it was going to be hard to believe this trade was going to make itself. Here, we came close, but the trade reversed itself. And the moment this happened, the double Christmas tree, that became a really, really strong signal for us. So now we just simply chill and wait, see where the white dots take us, or the Christmas tree label take us. As far as the trade goes. How do I do that? Sorry, what's the question? How do I do what? How do I do what? It came close. So like, Nico, we were like 2-3 points away from target, but it just died on the vine, right? It just totally died on the vine. But when you're doing these high frequency scalps, right, and you're looking at what works, what doesn't. I believe this was what, 41, 45. I know this one worked clearly. This one worked clearly. This one worked, and this one just died, right? And this one just died, I think. But clearly this one worked, and clearly this one worked. Actually, this one did work. $37. How high was this? 45. Yeah, no, these actually worked because this is a 37 entry. Oh no, 40, 41. It was close. It was close. Oh, how do you do the reverse? I just, you stop and then you sell because you were long. I actually went double sell, right? Because I had a lot of confidence. I have a lot of confidence in these trades. You can do them at much larger size. So the more frequent the trade, the smaller the size. The less frequent the trade, the higher the degree of confidence, the larger the size, right? That's kind of how you want to play around with this. You mean the short gold trade, most accurate? The one where we flipped around? I mean, let's like those are great setups. In real life, I'd be doing those at size. All right, watching for a double Christmas tree label, like a double red one here, to see if we can do a short on NASDAQ. It's 855. If this thing comes back up with a white dot, we're going to go back again into gold. Gold seems to really want to try to hold that 3,700 until we break the we get down to like 95. You still have to give the benefit of doubt to gold. It's consolidating, but there's just, you see there's buyers underneath 3,700 all morning long, and until that signal is broken, we hang with it. We hang with it. Yep. Good job. Good job. Mima, we trade futures through a prop account with Apex, and if you want to trade CFDs, I absolutely recommend ACAP, because if you trade with ACAP, I will give you, if you open an account with them, I will give you the tools to trade for free, just like I do with people who are in my coaching. So if you already have a CFD account, transfer that account to our friends at ACAP. I put the link in here, and just email me, and you'll get all the tools that we trade with over here. So you'll be in much better shape. If you like trading the way we do with high precision entries and scalp positions, then it's like a no-brain. It's a super good deal because they subsidize everything. I'm still trying to see if we get any kind of white dots right now. No, it looks like everything is really starting to come down to the negative side. Evgeny, did you blow out of the position over here on gold? You were long gold, and is your exit over here on the second red dot? Break even, yeah, like right around there. Yeah, that would be a break even exit. And as I was saying to you guys, when you're looking for that big run, for that huge trend, it's great when it happens, but the markets just don't make it easy, right? They force you to pay the toll, and the toll here is churn. So every time you're looking for a breakout for a long move, it just doesn't occur because it starts to come back down, come back down, come back down. That's why the great thing about like trading with dots is you can find either super selective trades and just trade size, or just trade continuously and trade small size and just win by accuracy. Evgeny says he's got like he basically does 1, 2, 3 flat break-even trades before he hits the home run. Speaking of home run, holy cow! Did you guys see that? What's his name? I can never pronounce his name. The guy from the Dodgers. Let me. Dodgers superstar. Oh hi. Shohei Ohtani. Did you guys see that Shohei Ohtani went for? Yeah, this I got to show this to you. This is like, even if you don't really know what the hell baseball is all about, look at this story. This is insane. He did a 6 for 6, right? And he retired the whole thing. What do you do? He said, no, but he went 6 for 6. Why are they not posting that? All right, whatever. Anyways, it was like a very, very incredible feat. Right, Ohtani. Ben, what did he do? Like, what? I thought I saw that he did like a 6 for 6, which is unheard of. Like, in other words, he got 6 hits at 6 at bats while he was pitching. Am I right? I thought, isn't that what he did? Isn't that what happened last night? I saw it on TikTok. It was like a really great to have a relief. Yeah, that was a crazy story. No, he won the game. Am I not right? What did I was this like a old clip that I saw? Maybe it was old clip. I thought he went 6 for 6 last night, and that was the big story. Oh, all right. Don't let your personal prejudice, destroy the love of the game, my friend. All right, all the Europeans are like, what are you guys talking about? We don't care. We just care about Real Madrid and Barca. Oh, he started out good, and the bullpen blew it for him. Oh man, no, but He didn't go 6 for 6 last night. Am I wrong in this? That's an old clip. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Wally. You never know. Like the thing I hate about social media, I've literally learned this. Nothing. Like they could write that, Donald Trump has been, I don't know. I don't want to say something bad, but something bad happens to Donald Trump because I don't want to, curse anybody. And you cannot believe anything on social media because you literally have to completely double check it. I've gotten fooled so many times by bullshit. Good morning, Tam. Yeah, we started early today. We already did a lot of trades. But it's just like the number one rule. It's literally everything on X, everything on TikTok is a lie until proven otherwise, which is just like the reverse of how you do it. You just have to assume everything is a lie. It's really crazy. All right, big move here. Like, I wish we had that little signal. Just unfortunately, the stars did not line up for us on the on a double thing. They did line up. By the way, look at the move in gold. We just took like $1. That move was good for $5. No, $10. No, almost $10 on that move. Evgeny, you should have gone the other way, man. You should have shorted it the other way. That was your move. Oh yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. But like, I mean, I'm just talking about like basic stuff, Oh, good for you. So you flipped short, and now you held. Now we're getting. By the way, okay. Now we actually have a trade. $1.42 left. We got a white dot. It's still positive trend, still legit. So we're gonna take this move and see if it works for us. If I get the white dot, but it doesn't look like it's going to hold. We'll see. Yeah, everything is selling off a little bit, pre-market. I wouldn't be surprised because remember one of the things that happens all the time is whatever is the move after FOMC, which the move after FOMC was kind of to the upside, it always gets reversed. And overnight, Europe and Asia took it like 1% higher. So it's totally not unreasonable to think that North America is going to take NASDAQ lower. No, not much news. I mean, I think the takeaway from FOMC is that, yes, we have 75 basis points baked in. I still think that the bias on everything is much more positive than negative, but sell-off is for sure likely. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if from now until maybe mid-October, we get a little bit of a sell-off. What is it like? I forgot what the trader statement is. Is it buy Rosh Hashanah, sell Yom Kippur, or the other way around? Hashanah, sell Yom Kippur. Yeah, I think that's the old. No, that's it. It's the other way around. So that's perfect. So the adage in the market, because the Jewish New Year is coming up next Monday, right? It's Rosh Hashanah, and it's like you have 10 days, the 10 Jewish holy days. And it's just, it's a funny adage, but it's kind of, I think it's very true because it's backed up by a lot of seasonal stuff, which is you sell Rosh Hashanah, which means that we're in the next Monday is Rosh Hashanah. We're going to have a decline for the next 10 days. And then Yom Kippur is kind of like the peak bottom and you buy Yom Kippur. So keep that in mind, us contributing to trading strategies. So I think overall, we're much more, we probably are likely to have a little bit more of a reversal now. What's the symbol for the dollar index? I don't know. UDX? I'm not sure. DXY, thank you. DXY, right. I always forget. DXY, thank you. DXY is the symbol. All right. Now it gets interesting. Now we're in negative trend, right? So now if we're going to look at dots, let's look at, let's see if we can get a purple dot going. Oh, we do have a purple dot. It's actually not like it's not quite negative trend in gold. So we have to give it a little time to, well, now it crosses over. I'm going to sell this just, for shits and giggles. I'm selling this this move against this purple dot. It's not a very, very clean trade because we're not really in downtrend, but we're kind of in downtrend. And this is the first purple dot. Let's see if it works. It comes down again. It's sort of, we're betting that there's still a little bit more downside momentum here in gold. 90 to 89.8 is my target. But where I really, really want to be, if we get negative, is, and hopefully we have time here, I want to be second red label in both gold and NASDAQ. That's going to be the money trade. So we just have to be very patient for that to set up. But then, when it does, it's really going to be a big money trade. Why is the dot purple? It's a higher low. The purple dot is a higher low. This low is higher than the prior one, so it kind of turned purple. It's a bullshit trade. I'm the first one to admit it's a bullshit trade. I'm just bored and I'm fooling around with entries. It's actually, if you think about this, not only is it only a bullshit trade, but it's a bad trade because if I took this signal, it actually TP'd over here. So there's no reason for me to be in this trade. Now it's just, now we're just sitting here for shits and giggles. I'm going to get stopped out. I shouldn't be trading this thing because it already made target, right? For us, there's like no setup, and I'm not going to hold these trades just for fun and giggles on this. The two red lines is 200 against 8 SMAs. No need for EMAs. We're just looking for general directionality. All right, so this is the first Christmas tree signal in a downtrend. And yes, it's tempting to want to take it, but as I said, that's not as high a probability trade as when you get the second one. Because the question is this just sort of like a pre-market open sell-off, or are we going to reverse trend for real and just trade it for the next hour in a downtrend, right? We traded for like 4 or 5 hours in an uptrend, right? Actually, even more so. It's like the trend has been from 2 o'clock. That's a very, very mature trend, right? It's really, really rare that we have a trend of 3 hours or more in one direction. So this was a pretty, pretty good trend. Now it finally broke. Now we got to see, what it wants to do. Really quiet, guys. 15 minutes to the open. Might have to wait till the open, through the open, to kind of see what where the setups are. Yeah, market is definitely sitting on his hands. We got nothing to do. I was tempted to kind of buy this white dot, even though it's in a downtrend, but I didn't want to indulge bad habits. But this would have worked nicely here, just because the idea is that it's really not quite yet established a negative trend. It's more like a shallow sell-off. So trading the white dot here would have worked. But overall, take an assessment where we're at. We turned negative. Let's see if this is just a dip or actually a start of a development of a big negative trend, at which point we're going to be able to have more than one or two opportunities to the upside, to the downside. Sorry. Let's see if is there anything else on the market today? No, we just the Philly Fed. I wonder why this did not print. Philly Fed right over here. There's lots of monetary policy decisions. Cable, yen, a lot of stuff. Let's see what's on Twitter. Just trying to see if there's any in headlines worthwhile looking. Yeah, I know cable came out. I'm just saying there's a lot on the calendar today. Okay, let's see where we're at. So we're turning back a little bit. So this looks like could be a dip. And like I was going to say, there is an argument to be made that you can try to buy, white dots in a downtrend. Because remember, like the whole idea is that I guess we have to look at gold because NASDAQ has just been a pure uptrend. I'm just trying to find like a longer term. So if you look like, gold as a example of, negative trend, but upward bias trade, do the white dots work? I mean, it works here. You bought 92. That goes like 93. I'm not sure if it works here. If you bought this here, it's 93. That doesn't work. 92 doesn't work. 92, 93. Although actually they could have worked here. This definitely worked. This worked. Even this worked. If you bought this at 92.8, the high here was 93.9. It was, still a dollar higher. So even in a downtrend, like, the white dot strategy, it's not as good. Obviously, it's going to have failures, but it also has more successes than failures for sure. So this one works, this one works, this one doesn't work, this one works, this one works, this one works, this one works. So you got like 6 trades that are working. This one fails, but this one works. This one works. It's kind of like, you're still, if you believe that there's an upward bias, you could even put it, you can even trade it, in a downtrend pretty well. It's, buying the dip type of strategy that works. Okay, we got 10 minutes to go to the open. Everything is super quiet. Oh, okay. Here's let's play the game here. Negative trend, first purple dot, right? That is our idea for a short scalp. Let's see if this is going to work. But it's got to hold here. This is not a layout. This is just trading view, right? We're just trading view. It's just my indicator on trading view. We got 38 seconds left. We've got a purple dot, worth a shot, right? We're going to take the trade here. $15, $14, $13. 10 minutes before the open, always a risk that it's, it create a pump and dump for us, but it doesn't matter. It's small size. We want to try and give it a shot. Target is going to be 69. We're in at 74, targeting 69. No, not yet, DV. It's not available. I sent it over for them to code it out, and when it's ready, I'll let you guys know. But it may take a while because a lot of them are on vacation, so it may take a while for them to recode it on wealth charts. Gold first Christmas tree label coming down, but as I said, it's a good signal, but we really want that second signal. Although everything is so slow motion at this point, we probably could have taken this signal as a trade as well, but we'll see. Getting nothing here. It's one of the reasons is because we really haven't established a downtrend. In NASDAQ, it's really kind of a fake downtrend. It's, tiny little move below, and we've just been consolidating. So probably need another 20 minutes to see if this is a real downtrend, and then those signals are going to pop. So I don't think this one is going to work for us, but we're going to stay in it, do or die. It's either going to take me out, which is probably going to do right now, or maybe it'll come back down. I'm not holding my breath on this one. It's hard to tell, where they really want to take the NASDAQ just yet. The real game is going to start in about 5 minutes, and hopefully we'll get a chance to play it. Gold down. I think it's the lows, right? Gold is breaking that 690 level. That's a big level. So that's good, because now we can really watch for gold. If we get a second Christmas tree label, we definitely want to get short gold. Five minutes, 6 minutes to go to the open. First Christmas tree label on NAS, which again, hopefully a good sign for us in the sense that we're getting a little bit of negative pressure here. But it's, before the open, so I don't trust any of these moves. We're in this just for the mechanics, just to watch the mechanics of the trade. Guys, don't forget our friends at Apex. Go out there, get some accounts. I'll be trading with you guys tomorrow. We're gonna do live Friday too. Three minutes to go to the open. Gold is starting to establish a pretty negative bias on the morning so far, because we've been, how long we've been down? From 906 to 928, right? More than 20 minutes below the moving average. Same with NASDAQ, I think 902. Yeah, more than 20 minutes below the moving average. Let's see if that bias holds. At this point, I think there's zero chance this trade is going to work. I'm just going to stay in it just, for shits and giggles for you guys because it's a small size. Because now we're going to do the bump and run, prior. They're going to just ramp it up before the open and then drop it like a stone there. Drop it like a stone probably on the open. So we have to just simply wait and see what happens next on as a quality setup. So like the next Christmas tree setup that we get, maybe in the next 10, 15 minutes, that's going to be the money move. Same thing with gold. We're going to watch for those and really show some size on those trades. Yeah. Look at that. It just takes me out and then, of course, comes back down. The range is really pretty wide, so we're gonna have to trade, and whatever quality trade we have, we're gonna trade with a 10-30 trade, and with gold it's gonna be $2, $6 because the range are pretty wide on both of these now, where we need the big volatility trades. I actually probably should have had that volatility trade on right now, and it would have worked fine. All right. 10 seconds before we open. Yes, if I get two Christmas tree, but like it's much more likely that we get a red Christmas tree as a second signal, which is going to give us lots of confidence that this is a short. All right, we're open. Market is a little bit quiet. We're going to take this. If this is a purple dot on the open and it stays a purple dot, we'll trade that. But let's see. Let's see if it holds. $1.18 on the clock. NASDAQ does its typical pump and dump. Gold, on the other hand, is really giving a pretty clean, clear purple dot here. No ambiguity. So we're going to wait patiently to see how it performs. All right. Short gold here, targeting 80.326. NASDAQ completely reversed itself around. So we just watch that and see how it goes. The gold sell-off was a tough sell-off. It was really like, on the open into the bottom. So hopefully we didn't sell the bottom. But regardless, it was, it was a legitimate signal. So we're taking it. And we'll see if it plays itself out. And gold proves itself. And we also have now, oh, we almost had it, a double Christmas tree. So if we get a Christmas tree signal, this is the second one in gold, worth a trade. We're definitely going to be doing this trade. Coming back down on that trade, but it's got to hold the Christmas tree for us to be able to do it. Nasdaq, on the other hand, fighting the downtrend, coming back up. Doing the usual, pump and dump, right? That we've seen so many times. No trade on gold. Leave that alone for the time being. Yeah, we look for two Christmas tree up and down, but it got to be consecutive. Like there's a red in between here, so it's not really a buy on this one, right? If we get two buys, if we get a second Christmas tree label here on NAS, we can go long that. Meantime, okay, lots of stuff kind of showing up. Here's a Christmas tree setting up on gold. See if it makes, if it holds that. In the meantime, NAS was like giving us a purple dot short possible, but that went away. All right, looking at gold as a double Christmas tree trade now. We broke the 80s. It really showing a lot of liquidation. This is a strong continuity trade, strong trend trade. Let's see if it holds and we get some continuity on it. And it goes away. Let's see. It's clearly, sold hard. One of the reservations I have about like this particular trade is because it's just been a one-way sell. So it is generally what I like to do is red, green, red. That's when you get the really good trade. But this is lots of downward trend movement. All right, we're short here. Target is 77.7. Let's see if we get any more continuity on this move here. And that is the really, as I said, the high probability trade. That's the trade to go. So that's sort of like, as I said, frequent setups are gonna be harder to win, but the rare setups when you kind of just wait and hold it, we're gonna start doing a lot more of these where we do size in a different account. Oh shit! I'm sorry, I'm twisting this around. Let me delete this. So this is the clean setup, right? You guys see it. It's this combined with this. Oh. You need these two in a row, and this was the entry was over here. So it had, it had that big move to the downside. And you have a lot more confidence when you have something like this. So conversely, we're going to get a green Christmas tree over here. Let's see if we do. We'll go long. We'll trade it to the long side. And you know what's also really cool is, so this is actually we're gonna if this stays in place, this is going to be a short signal. What I was going to say is what's really cool is you basically trade trend, right? In a downtrend, you take only short signals until you get two Christmas tree reversal. You get two green Christmas trees. That's a clear sign that that trend is ending. Similarly, you get two Christmas right over here. Clear sign that the trend was ending over here. Two red ones. So you take all the trend signals until the trend gives you a clear sign the trend is ending. Then you just take counter trend signals, right? To the downside. Yeah, Kim, we're actually working with a different for all the. Hold on, I'm just focusing on the trade here. Let me just do this trade. It's got to be 40-30, 444 short. All right, we short this trade. This is a purple dot in trend short trade. Nasdaq 57 is the target. Let's see if we can do this. Almost there, and we're done. And now, okay, now we got a double Christmas tree in NAS, right? Legit trade. Let's see if this plays out. No, we don't consider slope because again, early trade. It's anticipatory trade. Oh, this is now this has a lot of vol on it, right? Because we're getting a, let me make sure I have this right. Let me just make sure I have the settings right. NQ range settings. Yeah. So this orange label tells us that we got to have a 1545 stop and target. And I got to go. So I don't really want to take this trade, but if you guys want to, this is, wait, no, you know what? I take it back. It's not a legit trade. Not a trade. Why is this not a trade? I just realized that I thought it was two reds, but no, we have a whole bunch of greens in between. So the trade we took was the perfect trade. Everything else is on hold. If we get a second Christmas tree trade label, we go. But in the meantime, just to kind of let you know, why is this thing orange? Because it's telling you that the length of the candle is so big that you need a 1545 volatility stop, 15 target 45 stop, if you even want to try to consider taking this trade, right? So just a warning sign for you. But it's actually not a trade. I for some reason I thought there was two Christmas trees together, but they're not. There's a whole bunch of in between. So again, yes, DV, we don't consider the slope in this condition because it's anticipatory. It's only slope is considered for Christmas trees, like the best combination of all the factors coming into one direction. All short confirmations, all long confirmations, right? By the way, look at the gold. Gold just completely collapsed, right? Really good stuff. And by the way, this type of a beginning of trend double signal can also be used for a very, for a much longer positional trade. That's the money trade. So if we get a second Christmas tree, continuation trade here, and you want to try and trade it for, a big move, you probably could do that as well. The key thing that I want to show you is how you can isolate the signals using dots to give you incredibly high probability signals, or just, fuck around trades. Both things can really, really work well. The orange volatility settings on NASDAQ would be 100, and if we go into the Christmas tree label, 119 ticks. So if it's more than 30 points long, that goes orange. And on gold, the volatility ticks are this is the wrong one. I think I need to go to GC. Yeah, sorry. Unfortunately, I have to have a template for CFDs, which is completely different tick count than futures. Hang on, I'll tell you what the setting is. I'm just laying it down on there. Gold is on a 2-minute time frame. 2 minutes. We're trading a 2-minute time frame, guys. Give it a second. We're just coming back up. Okay. So the gold settings for the futures are 59 ticks. So it's 119 to 59 ticks. Okay. But pretty cool, right? I mean, we did a lot of fuck around trades and did not do any damage to the account because Mohammed, the best way to set everything up is to join my coaching. You can't get access to any of this unless you're part of my coaching. So take this link, go out there, go buy coaching. I'll buy you 2 or 3 Apex accounts for free, which you can then go out there and trade prop for free. So it's an incredibly good deal. Go out there, go get it, and then you'll get the access. You get everything set up. And do this like that. I don't know, GFAS. I haven't thought through on the ES and the YM. If you're trading those, then I actually traded ES a lot yesterday just for shits and giggles. ES is also a really, really fun trade. I didn't want to get everybody's focus diffused, but I did. Trading GS was also really a lot of fun. Sorry, I think I need to go. Hang on, let me just go to ES. Here's the ES range. I'll tell you, if you want to see what my ES range settings were, I'll show them to you. So my ES range settings were 12. So if the candle is more than 12, that's it. That's an orange candle, and you need a bigger, bigger stops and targets. And actually, I need to modify this. I just realized something. So I had it on here, but the range itself, the breakout threshold, it should be 5 times 4. That's 20. The minimum range, I want it to be 3, which is 12. Yeah, that's it. And I want to save this. Save as ES range. Yes. Save. Yeah, gold really, really ripping to the downside, huh? So we were patient. The gold trade worked really, really well, right? Let me make sure I have this right. Why is the 50? Wait, hold on. Oh, why? No. What happened here? Oh, I did it the wrong way. I'm sorry. Fuck. It's the GC, not the gold range. Yeah, okay. You know, the difference between CFD settings and future settings, it's always very confusing. Excuse me. Yeah, Wasil, I did send you the link. Please check your email, and if you don't have it, just send it. You know, email me again. I'll send it to you again. No, you can't do CFDs on Apex. You can. It's only a futures based session. DNA funding is what we're going to do at CFDs, and we're getting very close to making him a CFD partner of ours. So it'll be good. U.S. guys can trade anything. Prop can be traded. If you're a U.S. customer, you can trade anything you want on a prop side. You just can't trade it on a personal account. There's no restriction on props. All right. Do we take the last trade for shits and giggles on the white dot? It's not. You know, we're just basically betting on the fact that this is a positive trend structure, right? It's not really. We're not trading with trend. We're not. This is not the right trade. But I have to go in 5 minutes. I'm not going to get any other trades. So should we do a fuck around trade just for a last bit of business? All right, we'll do a one fuck around trade here, and it's hopefully going to hit us. Come on, let's go. It was right there, and we're done. And the reason why I kind of like doing this, and I kid around that it's kind of a fuck around trade because it really is not fully 100% kosher. But again, understand what we're trading. NASDAQ is a positive bias structure. So this early trade, right? The white short covering move, a lot of times is really good. It's, you know, I wouldn't buy a green label in a downtrend unless I had two of them consecutively. But I definitely would take a white move. So it was good. You know, we made a little bit of quick money, which I always like. A little bit of quick money is always good. You could have even tried this in gold. It obviously works best after massive, like, you know, sell-offs or some sharp sell-offs, and you have a chance to anticipate. The whole point of the white dot trade, which is why I think you guys would really like it, is it's anticipatory. It's early, so it gives you that, you know, quick chance of quick profit. Don't overuse it, but it obviously technically it's great, and of course during trend it's great. So the purple dot right now, for all intents and purposes, gold is negative. The real trades are in the purple dots. NASDAQ is still negative, and the real trades are in the purple dots. But a couple of little reversal moves is pretty good. So last thing I was going to show you before I go, this is the key thing. How do you know the trend is ending within the dot structure? And this is what's so cool about dot, because it's incredibly logical in showing it to you. As I said, the key way to know is when you have two consecutive reds in an uptrend or two consecutive greens in a downtrend. So I want to try to find I want to find it. There's not been a downtrend for so long anywhere. I don't even know. Honestly, I don't even know where we have a downtrend. Let me just start somewhere. Let's go to the 10th. I'm just picking randomly to try to find the instrument in a downtrend, which is not here. Okay, here we go. We're in a downtrend, right? So here's gold. No signal. Unfortunately, I don't have the double moves. Here's more gold. Okay. Here's an example where that fails. You have a two double trends, and it does not show you the end of trend. It's not really reversing here. But what I was going to say is, if you took this and you said, oh, maybe there's a chance of reversal, you could have taken this white. Even this white trade wouldn't have worked. So you really needed to have a little bit more patience. Gold was just in a pretty serious decline. I'm looking for these two double. Here we go. Here's a really good example of where the turn does happen. Two double greens, that does create a turn. Not all the way, but definitely enough for like 59 to 4 points. And the white dots started working. And here it really turns on a dime. And so 2 out of 3, were very good signals that showed you a full turn on gold. And then and here's where it starts to decline, right? You got the 2 reds on the thing. So at 2 reds, you could start taking the purple dots because it's showing you a weakness in the weakness in the condition. So it's very good. It's obviously not perfect, but it's very good at showing you pivot points in the marketplace. And once you start reading that, you can really get into the zone of where of whether this is still a downtrend, or now we're really starting to turn. So by the way, yeah, there's a purple dot here. I got to run, so I can't take this trade, but it's a pretty legit trade here. That's a purple dot sell in a downtrend in gold, worth a shot. Same thing over here, purple dot in Nasdaq, definitely worth a shot. But I got to run. I'm sorry, guys. Definitely we'll do it. We'll do tomorrow. I think maybe tomorrow we'll do again 8, but that can go longer with you. Maybe we'll go 8 to 10:30. The most important part that I really want to do is the highly curated trades at the 10 o'clock hour, the single, one shot, one kill trade in Nasdaq that I'd love to be able to see if we can do after the 10 o'clock, and everything else. So we hit all the good trades today. We did a lot of fuck around trades today, and most of them worked. Some of them did not, but overall, we actually ended up pretty good, given the fact that I did a lot of really experimental trades. The things that are clean and clear for us are very much there, right? Like, as I said, if I'm leaving you guys, but it'll be interesting to see how these purples resolve, because this purple is a very clean negative signal for us, very clean negative signal in NASDAQ. We'll see how that plays out. Thank you, guys. Everybody have a great day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.